One thing you should understand about me and pastas is sometimes I'm going to be making like very traditional Italian authentic recipes. Sometimes I'm going to be making very nostalgic Italian American recipes, things that I grew up with. There should be a clear unspoken understanding whenever I'm doing one or the other. And today we're going really authentic and really traditional, and we're gonna figure out how to make a pasta dish that to me is one of the perfect summer pasta dishes, which is spaghetti alle vongole. Vongole meaning clams. And so this is basically just spaghetti and clams. Super delicious recipe. Believe it comes out of Campania, which is the area like the southern western coast of Italy. It's kind of makes up where Pompeii is, Capri, and the Amalfi coast. So that beautiful area there. If you go visit, you're likely gonna eat a lot of spaghetti alle vongole. There's two types of this dish. One is a bianco and another is a rosso, or like a white and a red. The white is what we're making today. It's just oil, garlic, usually some pepperoncino, parsley, and it's often found with white wine, and that's what we're gonna do today. The red is basically the same thing, it just has the addition of tomatoes and basil, fresh tomatoes. To me, it seems like another dish that builds upon aglio olio to me. It's got oil and garlic as some of the main components. The only addition is we're adding clams, and we're gonna steam them in that oil, and they're gonna release their juice, and that's gonna mix with wine, and we're gonna reduce it, emulsify it with the pasta, and that's gonna make this delicious spaghetti dish. Very, very simple, very quick. So let's just get right into it. I want to thank our sponsor today, Audible. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you gotta listen up. For a limited time, you can start an Audible membership and save 66% on your first 3 months. A total of $30 off. That's like getting 3 months for the price of one. You pay just $4.95 a month for the first 3 months. After that, you pay $14.95 per month. That's it. This offer is valid from July 1st to July 31st, so you gotta get on that now. This month, I'm excited to get up close and personal with TV personality, restaurateur, and one of my favorite chefs, Marcus Samuelsson, in this new next generation cookbook, Our Harlem. Our Harlem is an Audible original production that explores the rich culture and identity of Harlem through the food, culture, and the people who have made Harlem an iconic New York neighborhood. Each chapter is a day of the week where you explore themes like the Great Migration and Spanish Harlem in conversation with Harlem personalities like Bevy Smith, Dapper Dan, and Jelani Cobb. So to get this deal, you gotta go visit audible.com/notanothercookingshow, or you can text Not Another Cooking Show to 500-500. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this video. Clams, the heart of this dish, and inside here is a delicious sort of liquor or juice, and that's going to be the main flavoring component of this dish. So we want all of that. I want to make sure these are live. These are little neck clams, very sustainable. They do have some grit, so I've had them sitting in some water that I've just poured a little bit of salt in. They're just sort of going to help purge all of that grit, and then I'm going to hand rinse them real quick like this. And so you can go feel them, you can feel a little bit of the grit, and then you can kind of run them under the sink if you want to clean them further. It's sort of hard to get all of the grit out, so there may be a few bites that are gritty, but for the most part, you let them soak, you rinse them underwater, you should be good to go. Now you want to make sure all of them are live, and you could do that just by kind of grabbing them. They're closed, that's good. Basically, anything that is not closing when you grab it or squeeze it and stays open, that's dead. You want to get rid of that. And when you cook them, if they don't open, they're also dead. You want to get rid of those. So those are the two things you want to make sure, and you should be able to cook these perfectly. They're done as soon as they open. It's like it's a natural timer, essentially. And then I just went ahead and chopped up a few things. You've seen me chop up garlic. I just took about 3 cloves of garlic, sliced them really thin. Then I just took a few of these little chilies. These guys are small, so it's an indication that they're spicy. And it's basically a fresh version of using red pepper flake. You can use red pepper flake instead, but I found these, so I used them. And basically just cut 3 of these little guys up, fine dice, just like that. I've got some fresh parsley, just ripped off a bunch of the top of the parsley head, finely chopped that. All of these things you've seen me do before. I've also got a nice little bottle of wine. White wine, something dry. Here's how it's gonna go down, essentially. I've got a pot of boiling water. It's a smaller pot. I've been cooking pasta in smaller pots of water just to get more starch in them when trying to make these traditional pasta dishes because it's almost impossible to get any starchy water when you make it in a big thing of water. Less water, smaller pot, more starch. That's what I'm thinking. In a pan next to the water, we're gonna add oil. We're gonna cook the chilies, the garlic in that oil. Then we're gonna add the clams. We're gonna add the wine. We're gonna cover it. Wait for those to open. Then I'm gonna take those clams out and put them in here, drain some of that juice and reserve it so I can pour it back in. I'm gonna take some of the clams out of their shell to mix in with the pasta and then leave some shells for presentation. Then we're just gonna add the pasta al dente into the clam juice and finish cooking it like that. Reducing the liquid, concentrating the flavor, emulsifying the sauce, finishing with parsley, and there you have it. It's one of those beautiful, simple Italian recipes, but it's something you're gonna love. So let's just get right into it. Smells of the ocean, it's creamy, it's emulsified, it's gonna be delicious. It's so good. It's everything you love about aglio e olio with everything you love about the ocean and the sea. That pasta just sucks it right up. I like pulling the clams as soon as they open because if you really cook them any longer, they get tough. And these are nice and tender and perfect for the pasta. Now you could totally add cheese. That's perfectly acceptable, although the Italians might say it overshadows or overpowers everything. But you know what? You do you. You eat it how you like, it doesn't matter. You wanna make sure you don't salt that pasta water too much because there's salty elements from the clams. So I definitely pulled back on the salt in the water. Other than that, man, I can't stress this one enough. If you never had this guy, you gotta go make it right now. Great traditional pasta for you guys to learn. Hope to see a lot of photos over on the internets with some spaghetti alle vongole. Thanks to all the patrons scrolling down below on my screen right now. Really appreciate all of you. I appreciate everyone who just watches. I want to thank my sponsor today, Audible. Appreciate you a lot. That's all I have today. Much love. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.